What's shaking, my peopleizations? What's shaking? What's shaking? We in the building. Y'all know what it is, man. It's your boy, Booba Sports TV, man. It's going down, my peopleizations. Let's talk about it, man. Let's talk about it. 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 Yeah. Yeah, man. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Yeah, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. True Benjamin, Dimitri Cohen, Derek McGee, Omega Cam, Harold Jones, salute. What's shaking? Sirion 777. Salute to my peoples, man. What's shaking? We in the building this evening. I'm about to say this morning, man. I was about to say this morning. We in there this evening. You dig? You dig? You dig? We live, man. I couldn't
the card already announced on the card.
I don't know what that is about. I couldn't pardon me. Yesterday, I had to get my car fixed. S550J. Brian Penson, salute. What's shaking? Ahmad is Ahmad, salute. I had to get my car fixed, and then I had to get my car fixed. Then around the world, salute. Boxer King, salute. I had to get my car fixed, and then I had to then the wife was busy yesterday, so I had to handle some stuff with that, man. Around the world, salute. He says Shannon still got it. Let's go, Blue. The Boxer King, salute. Pito Freshkaball, salute. What's shaking my peopleizations, man? Yeah. So yesterday and day before, I couldn't do it. I couldn't come on. Mahari Nation, what's good, my brother? Mahari, I'm gonna send you the link. I sent you the link, Mahari. Yeah. So I had the minions yesterday, man. You know, a few things came up, so I wasn't able to Dog 215, salute. What's shaking? Hey, listen, I wrenched up my peopleizations, man. So I hit y'all with the wrench now. Let me know if y'all got the wrench. Because I still can't see it. I was able to go back and do it, but I still can't see it. You gonna watch KSI versus Logan Paul, Blue? Yeah, for sure. Chris Brown, 4-5, salute. Why not? Salute. Yeah, I sent the wrenches out. Wordplay, Dane Watson. Jeff Rowe, Bodine, salute. Daryl Duhan, salute. Smash that like button, my peoples. DeAndre Carey, salute. My brother Chris Brown, 4-5, man. I might have a treat for you this morning, Chris Brown, 4-5, this evening, this afternoon, should I say. Shout out to Cassie, man. Yeah, salute to my brother, man. Hey, listen, I'm going to have something big coming down the pipes, man. Gerard Casher, Eric R., salute. So I'm going to need all my peoples to lock in, man. Y'all say y'all support your boy Blue, man. Support your boy Blue, man, because I'm going to have something special, man, for y'all. Act Reacher, my brother, man. What's good with your act? I'm gonna hit you up. Tunnel Vision, salute. It's the blueberry joints. Blueberry. Hey. Oh, who you got coming on? Yeah, listen. I got something special coming down the pipe, man. So listen, I'm gonna need y'all to lock in with your boy Blue, man. Sheldon Holmes, salute. I'm gonna need y'all to lock in with your boy Blue, man. Cedric Taylor, salute. Seen and unseen boxing, salute. Do me a favor, my peopleization. Smash the like button. Smash that like button, man. You understand? Then we're gonna get into this, man. You figure deal me. You figure deal me. So, yeah, man, we're gonna have something special. Jafari Caesar, salute. We're gonna have something special coming down the pipe, man. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm gonna need y'all to lock in with your boy Blue, man, and we're gonna grind. You dig what I'm saying? CVP Junior, salute. My brother Mahari Nation in the building. What's good with you, bro?
Man, just chilling though, bro. Hey, guess what? I just ran into BFTV's live stream. Some idiot had the audacity to say that Sugar Ray Robinson was basically backed up by the mob, and basically most of his knockouts were because the opponent dived on the ring mat. Like, really?
Yeah,
really?
You know what I'm saying, man? That's why I can't get into what people, you know what I mean? It's just boxing. Salute. Ty King Allah. Salute. Around the world. Salute. Clifton Brunson. Salute. Yeah, Mahari, that's why I can't, some dudes, man, they just say they just say anything, man. You know what? I come to the conclusion that people say whatever they feel just for them to win the argument. You understand what I'm saying? They no
Absolutely
no legitimacy to it. But it's just I'm hearing, Mahari, did you see anything about this? JMJ 2121, salute. I'm hearing that Shannon Briggs connected on somebody today.
Ooh, didn't I hear about that today? Or I'm telling you, bro, I'd be scared if Shannon Briggs was around me, because if I got to be careful about the words I say, because this dude might pop me.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. That's what I'm hearing, man. And matter of fact, somebody just put it in the chat too. Said Briggs, Peter Freshball said Briggs caught dude with a quick left.
Interesting. Yeah, man. Let's go, champ.
Salute to Kwane in the super chat. Salute, King. 88 Sports Talk. Salute.
Yeah, that's crazy though, bro.
That's 550J. Salute. He said he pushed some white dude, and as he was walking off, he snubbed the dude in the crowd. Wow. Wow. Film on him. Salute. I mean that's close to, he might get from the whole situation doing stuff like that, especially if it's somebody in the crowd, especially after especially after what took place with the whole Clarissa Shields, the whole the trainer getting knocked out and all of that.
Oh yeah, I still remember that one video where Shannon Briggs basically traveled all the way up to Europe, ran up on Vladimir Klitschko in a restaurant though with a friend of his, and then basically said, "I'll eat what you eat, champ." He's basically eating his food, and then Vladimir Klitschko basically dumped water on his head, and he's like, "You want water on my head? You gonna want water on my fucking head?"
He's like, "I eat what you eat, champ." And listen, and just so y'all know, man, Shannon Briggs is a friend of mine, so just. That's my dude right there. But you know what I mean? Like, I love his energy and his personality, man. Ancestral Ray, salute. I love his personality and I love his energy, man. So, I'm not surprised. New Jersey, salute. Bilal Hobbs, salute. Got the brother in here. My brother, the Cali Enigma in the building. What's good?
What's happening, fam? What's going down?
Hey, Cali.
Hey, Cali, I'm just a squirrel in your world, man.
oh man, a lot of working, man, going on right now.
Yeah, bro. I see you out there grinding though, bro. Getting live streams in before you even start working though, man. You've been working very hard.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Yeah, man. All this OT, man. I ain't tripping trying to get all this OT in before the 22nd. You know what it is. You know what the time it is down in Vegas. So,
Yep.
Yes.
trying to go in.
Seth Rosenoff, it was true. Andre Ward turned it down. But
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he turned
Yeah,
it.
he did. Yeah.
Did you, Callie? Did you see? They was just telling me in the chat that Shannon Briggs knocked out somebody from KSI's team today at the weigh-in. Man,
Did he? Oh wow! I saw him punk somebody from KSI team just like a couple of days ago. Man, I didn't like some of the stuff he was saying. Man, it's a little buffoonish and some of the stuff he's been saying. But I'm not surprised, man. I mean, some of them dudes for KSI team trying to seem tough, but they ain't really tough. You know what I'm saying? Say what you want about a dude that's almost 50 years old, but it's a guy that's trained. You know, he's still I would say still world level fighter, somewhat, especially for heavyweight division. Ain't like heavyweight's really deep. There's still dudes I think that Shannon Briggs, especially if you're not careful early on, you can knock almost anybody out. So you know Shannon Briggs got about 3-4 rounds before he gas out. But those first 3 or 4 rounds is very, very very dangerous. Which is why I thought Usyk probably should have fought him just to get tested. I mean, it's a test. You get past them 4 rounds though, it's money. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause he ain't got no more stamina. But it's like they didn't want to really put him in there with no big puncher, man. Yeah. I thought I've been a test for him.
You know what?
I mean, but what I think about as far as Briggs though, I mean, it don't surprise me whatsoever, man. It seems like both teams, man, for been seriously getting into it, man. I don't think they plan. I don't think KSI playing with KSI is playing with Logan Paul. Logan Paul seemed to be a little bit intimidated by KSI, in my opinion. But I mean, as far as the teams go, I think Shannon Briggs he can punk most people, man. Let's keep it 100 here, man. I don't give a damn how it is. That's a dude who's knocking on 50, but he in shape. It ain't like, he's like some, dude, some dudes that be 50 and, ain't lifted weights in like 25 years or ain't lifted weights since they was 18 years old or something like that. That this dude still work out and still train the box.
Mm-hmm.
He's still sharp. He'll knock out any regular dude on the street going to sleep. You start stuffing Shannon Briggs, man. That dude built.
Hey, my co-host, hold on. My co-host just stepped in the building. What's going on with you, Kurt?
Blue blood, what's going on, my brother? What's going on? Peace to Cali, peace to Abel Mahari, peace to the chat.
What's going on with you, Kurt, man? We was just talking about they was telling me in the chat, man, everybody's saying that Shannon Briggs knocked out one of KSI's somebody in his team today at the weigh-in.
Well, you gotta understand, man. That's how Bucky gets down, man. That's just something that's in him. Maybe he was provoked, or I don't know the whole story, but you gotta leave them fighters alone, man.
No, do you guys see him though? I remember I saw a clip of him when he was punking one of KSI's team members. He kept yelling, "Brownsville, Brownsville, Brownsville."
It's hilarious, man.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah, man. But say though, guys, did you guys watch Trill Boxing this morning? I mean, that episode was lit up, bro.
I didn't finish it.
Oh,
Nah, I didn't get a chance to see it yet. I might have to go back and listen to it, man.
Hey,
that's the way it's been on the grind, brother.
No, I understand. Hey, Curtis, did you see that episode, my man?
Yeah, I was involved in it. I was, putting down stupid chats and telling them what I used to do. So, but the missus here, but
I'm not gonna.
Yeah, I heard that part.
I'm gonna tell everybody in the chat. I'm not gonna spoil for you, but I'm gonna tell you a little preview. They're talking about porn stars. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm not gonna say anything else.
Let me tell y'all, man. My cousin, she just moved to UK. She works for the guy that owns the Staples Center, and she also worked for West Coast Productions. So that's all I'm gonna tell y'all. She did all the distributing and setting up all the appointments for West Coast Productions since I want to say back in 2002. So I'm very familiar with them.
Yeah, they've been around. West Coast Productions been around since the late 90s, man.
Mm-hmm.
I know that for a fact too because my cousin used to roll. We used to roll a couple of them dudes, man. I know one dude who was working with them for was a gangster name, or where he's a street dude named Suave. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if you guys heard about that dude, light skinned dude with ponytail. So my cousin used to roll with that dude back in the day. So, but
Brian Pumper is. I went to school with Brian Pumper.
Yeah, I heard there was a couple of cats that used to be involved with West Coast Productions. That I think Lexington Steele, he went to Syracuse, man. Like that brother educated, man, but he got in that business. A lot of folks don't know that dude is a guy. I think he got like multiple degrees. Lexington Steele, man, and he's from New York. People be thinking everybody in the porn industry has been abused and all that shit like that. Nah, man, some of the people just found it to be lucrative, and some of the people just like that, just wanted to be in the industry because they like doing what they do. You know what I'm saying? I ain't mad at nobody, man. You happy, you know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
Let me tell you, Brian Pumper been that size since we was in the 8th grade. I'm not making this up. They say he was juicy. He was that size. We used to use him as props.
Oh, he played football?
No. He boxed, believe it or not. He's Golden Gloves. He went to the Golden Gloves. He didn't win, but he went to the Golden Gloves. But he always worked out, so we used him as props, like in shows and plays and stuff. Since the 8th grade, he been that size. He was always trying to tell people that it's because he concentrated on the muscle. That's how he got that big. Like, this dude look. Can you imagine 8th grade, that dude that walking around like that, man?
Crazy.
Yeah, Jafari said Lloyd Banks. Yeah, that's him. That's him. Me and him went to school together since the sixth grade, man.
Yeah, I don't remember anybody in Edgar, but I do remember growing up with kids that started juicing though. In high school, I had a teammate of mine that this dude went from 150 pounds to 205 in about, I think, like 5 or 6 months or something like that, man. He was taking all kind of stuff, had tons of had some smooth swings. I ended up checking him. I was about to knock him out because he was like trying to flex me and stuff. He was like, I'm a wrestler. He was a wrestler that ended up moving to football. Ended up playing center. I think by the time he left, he was around 270 pounds. Maybe just kept doing it. And as far as last time I spoke to him, he said he'd been off of a bit. He became a big dude. He's like, man, I'm trying to eat. I tried weight gain and none of that stuff worked. And then there was a kid that went to a school called Antioch High. He had been doing it, and he ended up he actually showed him who the connect was to start using that type of stuff, and he started using it himself. And yeah, man, it just the mood swing, especially if you know people who do it. I don't know if it affects everybody like that, but at least it affected him that way. Mood swings. He had all kind of pimples and stuff, like acne on his back acne and stuff like that, man. Even acne on his face, and then just wanting to fight people all the time, stuff like that. And that's like, man, he said, I don't care what you on, bro. I will knock you out. Man, you need to calm down with that, bro.
What you was gonna say?
Yeah.
Well, put it like this. Anybody that know what I'm talking about from New York, Goats and Hunts Point. That's all I got to say.
Hey, Kurt. Hey, Callie, Abel. We used to have, I know Kurt remember this. You remember Greek Fest, right, Kurt?
Oh, absolutely. Joe Beach.
Yeah. So Brian Pumper, I ain't gonna say his real name, but one day he brought one of the dudes from the industry with him, right, to Greek Fest. The dude was the same size as him, right? And Nassau Road, Kurt, you know how Nassau Road get.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Callie, that Nassau Road, Abel, Callie, is like, it's like Crenshaw in LA. Right. And this dude came there, and Greek Fest is in the summertime. This dude had on a straw hat and some wooden slippers, him and his man.
Right.
And they was walking the whole strip like that. The entire strip. Needless to say, it didn't turn out too well for him.
Wow.
That didn't turn out. Could you imagine seeing him walk down Boulevard?
Nah, man, so somebody gonna talk to you or say, hey, you might get. Someone's definitely gonna question you, bro. I mean, especially if you dressing like that, and from my city, you know what I'm saying. If you go over this we call E14, they changed it to International Boulevard. If you walk down there, man, you gonna get walked up on, man. Man, where you from or something like that? You might get slapped. You're different one, man. You looking like a fool. Like, man, what's wrong with this dude, bro? You know, I mean, it's just. I don't know. I don't know why he decided to dress like that, man. No, and y'all didn't say nothing to him? You didn't warn him about it, look?
Hey, he already knew he from here. He already knew. I just was like, man, I just shook my head, man. You're a good man. What'd you say?
I'm gonna tell y'all something, man. Go to Hunts Point and the Golden Lady in the Bronx. That's where Cardi B came from before she hit it big. And also Eve, the rapper, she used to strip there. When she was in Philly, they used to have a bunch of strippers come from Philadelphia to New York. So, if you're a man and stuff, and we're gonna get into boxing, but I just want to say, New York ain't what New York was before, man. It was just on fire. Every day was a Saturday night for me, man. Real talk, man. We had eleganzas and doors. We had Millers. You know that scene in Belly when the guy put a drink or something in Method Man's drink? That's a strip bar in Irvington, New Jersey. It's called Paradiso. We used to be there like every night, man. It was just off the chain in the 90s, man. And I just want to say, man, I got so many memories, but, this is a family show, but the Greek Fest and not only the Greek Fest in New York, but the Greek Fest in Virginia.
I just got to ask both of you and Blue a question, Kurt. How many of y'all got down with a couple of West Indians, bro?
Say again, Kurt.
How many of you guys have gotten down with West Indian girls? We ain't got it like that, man. We got to go travel to come across them like that out here, man.
Let me just tell you this, Callie. We got the West Indian Day Parade. I'll leave it as that.
Unbelievable. I used to be there every year, man, and Act 3 was a reggae club in New York, man. I did it all from A to Z. Essence Fest, Black Nurses Convention, everything, man. I can't tell y'all, man. I just can't.
Hey, Callie, NYPD be out there twerking. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, I know it's live, man. I know it's live, man. It's different out here, man, because I told y'all, man, more than half the state of California, man, is Mexican. So this is Mexico right here, bro. Where we at? So you already know what we coming across, but you know what I'm saying. So if you black and you come from California, man, it's more than likely that you done got down with a few Mexicans, man. That's just the norm. When your state predominantly one race like that or one ethnic group, chances are you're gonna go get a little of that every now and then. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm talking about? Cause y'all with the Puerto Ricans and like the West Indians, y'all got y'all diversity of Caribbeans, man. Y'all was winning.
Hey, listen, we had Kurt. You remember Sexy Dancers over there too?
Sue Rendezvous, Sexy Dancers. I said this early this morning. I used to go to DJ Caseley's Black Tail Magazine parties in Queens, man. It was every day was like a weekend for me and my boys. Every single night, man.
Yeah, New York is nothing like that no more.
Nah, man, it's gone, man.
Yeah,
it's gone.
Yeah, they robbed us of it now. Hey, man, tell them how Rucker Park used to be on a summer night. Oh my goodness, man.
I remember when Kobe was there.
Hey.
Because they used to have, Cameron was there. That was the most lit night. They had Joel Santana, the whole dip set. And we didn't go home till like 3 or 4 in the morning.
And Fat Joe was there. He had his team out there. Jay-Z and Fat Joe, their teams used to always play in the championship. Yep. Remember that, Kurt?
Yep. Remember Kenny King's street basketball team?
Yep.
They had remember this guard? They had a guard that could have played in the NBA, but he was a drug addict. What was his name? His handle was so nice, man. He would have gave anybody work.
Yeah, I know you're talking about.
He had a street name, but he was a drug addict.
Yeah.
But that's going to ball, man.
Yeah, man. Even back, remember Earl Manigault was nice like that, man. He had
Earl Man and Goat,
Yeah.
Watch this movie called Further in the Hole. It's a documentary about Kenny Kings, the guy that played for the Bulls. What's his name? Kenny Parker. He was on the team.
Yeah.
You know, he played for Long Island University.
Yeah, how about you?
He won 2 years in a row. The championship.
Yeah, and we used to have. Let me tell y'all something about Rucker Park, man, at Harlem, right? I'm talking. This is how deep it went. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar used to play there. Dr. J used to play there. Kevin Durant, Magic Johnson, you name it, they played there. So
every star you can think of has to go. You got to go through Rucker Park. You know what I'm saying? That's like just the passage, man. You have no choice. You know what I'm saying? Just like if you're a rapper, I don't care what era it is, you got to go to New York. You know what I'm saying? So you know that's just the way it is, man. You got to pay homage, man. And so you got to go bless the court by going to Rucker, man. If you don't go to Rucker, man, to me, I mean, you can't say you're an NBA star unless you go to Rucker Park, man. You know what I'm saying? So, and especially if you're a star, you know what I'm saying? You want a superstar, you got to go play there.
And if you ain't never been to Rucker Park, let me tell you how it looked. The view is so bananas, right? Is that depending upon which way you're going on the court, you're looking at Yankee Stadium. And the other way, if you're going the opposite way, you're looking at the Polo Grounds and the Colonial Projects. And that's, you know, where the Giants used to play in the Polo Grounds. So depending upon what angle you're going, you know, what court you, what rim you're going, you're looking at Yankee Stadium or you're looking at the Polo Grounds.
Yeah, but Blue, you know what? After the games, man, that's where the fun really started.
Oh my goodness!
It was like the after party, man. You parked your car, you had the Flyers whips, man. You get out and you be profiling, man. It used to be bananas, man.
Just parked up. You eating beef patties out of brown paper bags, Kurt. Eating pizza off aluminum foil. You understand what I'm telling y'all? The ice cream truck never moved. The ice cream truck stayed there so long that it's in NBA 2K. If you play NBA 2K and you play on Rucker Park, you will see the ice cream truck in the background. The ice cream truck never moved, and there used to be a pizza parlor and a Wimpy's right there. Now it's something different, Kurt. But
hey, Blue, I'm about to say something you guys gonna make you upset, man. My niece, she just sent me a check. She said, you should check this dude out. His name Little Pump. Who the fuck? I'm sorry to catch myself. Who the heck is Little Pump, man? Who's Little Pump?
These dudes, man, these new dudes, I can't get into them, man.
She was saying that. She said he's one of the best rappers to ever do it. And I said, I never heard of dude, so how can you want to be one of the best to ever do it?
Yeah, these new school, man. Listen, man, oh man.
Yeah, man, I can't relate to this new generation, bro. I really listen. I feel ashamed to be growing up in this generation, though, bro, because a lot of these kids, though, man, be telling me like, "Oh, Kodak Black is the greatest rapper in the history of rap." Like, have y'all listened to Tupac or Biggie or even old school guys back in the day that actually did real lyrics? Get out of here, man.
And not only do these dudes not do lyrics, they wear purses, they wear blouses, they wear dresses.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's like, I mean,
yeah, man, they don't
nobody who would co-sign none of that stuff that these dudes be wearing.
Wallabies and Playboys and British Walkers and paper pants, those checkered pants and leather fronts and Corderville. I came up like that and Rakim and Cool G rap, man. I don't even recognize this school hip hop. I'm gonna call it something, man.
Yeah, it's some Jordache, you know what I'm saying? Hey, Kurt, that's why I said, you know what I mean? The difference is you see when you get guys like Floyd Mayweather, when Floyd Mayweather say stuff like, "Hey, I ain't no follower," and then you see him wearing gray and black mink coats like Frank used to wear, or you see him wearing long Louis Vuitton 3/4 length jackets and full court. You know what I'm saying? Man, this is stuff that you're talking about. Dudes back in the days in Harlem wore on a regular basis, man. We had direct contact. You hear me? We had direct contact with the dudes that was making the clothes. You understand me?
Dapper Dan's 125th Street.
Tell them again, Kurt.
Dapper Dan's 125th Street, man. You know, I was very fortunate to get a couple of suits out of there, then go post up at Woolly Burgers on 145th Street.
Mm-hmm.
At that time I had a drop top Corvette with Pirelli rims. This was like around by like 87. Crazy.
Hey man, we used to go to Dapper Dan's, man. Dapper Dan, you could get clothes made, man.
Custom made with the name on the back.
Yeah. Full, I'm talking Louis Vuitton, man. Come on, man. Like you know what I mean? When you look at New York today, man, the trend setting and things that, you know, how it was, it's different. You know what I mean? When Dante Boxing Nation came in, Boxing Ego, I took him to Harlem. I took him to Brooklyn. I took him all around. You know what I mean? You know, I can't wait till the brothers come. My brother Cali come. But you know, New York, man, it's different, man.
No, you know what happened? It happened is the hip hop scene, as the hip hop scene changed and the hip hop scene started falling the South. No disrespect to the South, but I always thought that New York should always. And there's a New York. So I'm not saying that New York shouldn't adapt its style, but your style should be your own creation. That's what made New York unique, was the fact that New York had its own swag, and they weren't trying to copy. When the West Coast became hot, they didn't try to copy the West Coast. New York still continued to do New York, and which is why I liked it. I like the differences. I like being able to listen to music on the West Coast and then listen to the South, and then listen to the East Coast, and knowing that I was getting different sounds. Now it seems like this. Well, shout out. I mean, I ain't gonna lie. The West Coast starting to come up. We do got cats. Some are still cats in the East Coast that are still doing their thing and not trying to sound like others. But I'm happy about what's going on the West Coast right now. They developing their own new sound. I mean, we need the East Coast to get back, especially New York, New Jersey, need to get back to that grimy music. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Gangstar, man. Can I say that real quick? Shout out to DJ Premier for putting out that legendary album. Gangstar, man. I appreciate that, man. It's nice to hear, lyrics, hear good, New York style beats. You know what I'm saying? That's what I call Premier. To me, Premier created the New York style beat. And when I want to listen to New York, I want to hear something that sound like that, man. I don't want to hear something that sound like it's coming from the South. When I turn on somebody from New York, I'm not trying to be funny, man. Am I wrong to feel that way, man? I'm just saying.
Nah, you ain't.
Not at all. I'm sorry, Blue, but I just had to say this.
Mm-hmm.
Not at all. New York had what you call the boom bap sound. When you listen to Black Moon and Ultramagnetics, but it was the boom bap sound. West Coast had the G-Funk and the South had a bouncy feel. So every coast, every region had its own style, but I don't know what happened. New York became a copycat, city, a copycat coast. And, when Hot 97 wouldn't play Wu-Tang records, when Wu-Tang Forever came out in 97 and they started playing Mr. Serv-On and No Limit because in 98, Master Ace and the whole No Limit roster hit it big in 98. I knew that it was changing, and people started complaining because remember something, Ghostface he got into it with Mace and stuff like that, and you didn't hear Wu-Tang. None of Wu-Tang songs was on the radio, but yet they were selling like triple platinum, in sales. So that's where it started to go. And a friend of mine said when Puffy fell off that motorcycle bike in the video, he took New York down with him because he was another reason, that New York lost its sound. It came as a shiny suit era.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, but you know what else though too? I'm gonna tell you what had a big impact when Bill Clinton passed the Telecommunications Act, which allowed multimedia companies to purchase all the radio stations up. That happened over here too. It would happen that record stations stopped breaking records, man. You know what I'm saying? Because even out here, man, they used to play a local Bay Area stuff because the Bay Area up here and in Sacramento, we had different sound of what was sounding like in Southern California, man. We had our own sound, with Too Short, and we didn't sound like what was coming out of LA and stuff like that. So, they would break records up here, man. They stopped breaking records. The funny thing though, I don't know if you guys knew that because shout out to the Wake Up Show, Sway used to break some New York artists over here, man. And I saw, and that was cool because matter of fact, some couple New York artists got broke up here. And even Eminem got broke. They broke him out here too. So, you know what I'm saying? So it was cool. They stopped that. Now it became a situation where it was pay to play. You know what I'm saying? So whatever record label had the most money, that's who will get pushed. So that's why you got artists that I couldn't stand getting pushed. Man, I'm like, man, I don't want to hear that dude, bro. Why he on the radio, man? I said, you're not putting out good music, man. You putting out crap. Because, when we were growing up, remember the what I call it the power era, man. You know, that Public Enemy, that stuff was on mainstream radio across America. Public Enemy was mainstream. Like you would listen to Public Enemy, you would listen to X-Clan, you would listen to Tribe Called Quest, you listen to whatchamacallit, I can't think of the name of the group right now, but a lot of those groups putting out a powerful message, BDP, putting out powerful messages, they were mainstream. They were getting played across the country on regular radio. I know that's hard to imagine now. You couldn't get a record like that on regular radio now. It's not gonna happen. They're not gonna play nothing like that now, man. Only stuff that's negative get played, but when the positive stuff don't get played no more. So that type of stuff, you notice that things are changing, and we were telling our kids to educate ourselves. And of course, TV was better. BET was better. BET has become garbage. So I think a lot of the changes in the '90s, man, ruined today. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you ain't lying, man. You ain't lying, man. It hurts, man. It hurts. Listening to music here in New York, man.
Not only hip hop music, but what the hell happened to R&B music today? The last week, I was listening to Earth, Wind and Fire and Cameo and Brass Construction and Mandrill and Funkadelic Parliament. Basically, they're the same group. And Diana Ross. Listen to all those classic albums from 78 to 80. Is Teddy Pendergrass, Aretha Franklin, Michael Jackson, Prince came out at the same time in one calendar year. So you can imagine, you can go back and look at all the albums that came out in 1979. You'll be amazed. And, the music has lost its soul, man. You know, hip hop, but R&B too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you know what though, guys? I'll tell you a little story about me. My first R&B album that I first listened to when I was a kid was from Gerald and Eddie Levert. You know those guys?
Oh, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. I remember listening to that after school when I used to pop it up when I was like bored or was finished with homework. And I'm telling you, man, I used to jam that. I used to jam their music, and it was fun. But it's like today's music is like it's more commercialized. It's just more like it's more about dance and routine instead of just the soul and and just the heart within the music. Only a few that I see out there that are actually putting on some decent music. But it's just like I don't even listen to today's music anymore because it's just there's no substance, there's no authenticity to their music. You know what I mean?
Hey, listen, I don't even turn on the radio.
Yeah.
If it ain't ESPN News 98.7 over here,
if it ain't,
I don't even listen to the radio. Like I don't turn on Hot 97, Power 105.1. I don't listen to none of that, man.
You know what? You know what though?
The radio is the Breakfast Club, and depending upon who they got on there and they interview.
Man, look, Blue. Let me tell you something though, man. If it ain't 100.3 KFN radio in Minneapolis, St. Paul, I'm not listening to anything. I don't listen to 100.3 KDWB, and I don't listen to all the other music radio stations. But I can't. This is the thing. I don't like listening to Breakfast Club because I don't really respect Charlemagne because of the whole rape history and stuff like that. I can't. I used to listen to the Breakfast Club, but after the whole the story that came out about his rape history and about him just having no problem with it, I just said I can't mess around with them no more.
Yeah, bro. I can't listen. I listen to, like I said, I listen to 98.7 ESPN, man. That's it, man. If I listen to music, it's downloaded on my phones. I plug them into my aux cord, and that's what I listen to, man. And
I got like 2,000 songs on my phone, man.
Yep.
All smartphones are like, like Google Play Music and YouTube Red. I download songs and Listics and Blue Magic. I mean, not even gospel music. I don't like the new gospel music. I like classic gospel music. The Hawkins family and all that, man. Everything is old, man. I guess I'm an older guy and I grew up on it. It has sentimental value, but the soul is gone from our music, man. The new stuff, man. Hip hop and gospel, R&B. There's some songs that
there's too much crossover. That's what you're talking about, man. there's too much crossover where music don't sound it sound too much alike, and there's not enough separation where there's no love balance anymore in R&B. Like it's like I guess it's so horrible for you to say that you love a woman in a song or something like that, man. I don't understand, bro. It's like, man, I feel like, sometimes it's good to listen to R&B, man, to relax, which is why I tend to listen to jazz music most of the time, man, smooth jazz. And I listen to an artist I just got named Kiefer, man, Kiefer, man. Smooth jazz. Listen to that, man, and just chill. But I got Amazon Music too. I pay $7.99 now because it's for high definition, and I listen to whatever I want, man. And they try to recommend me mumble rap, man. I don't want to listen to that, man. Well, I mean, what is mumble rap? Is a brain cell killing music, bro. I mean, I just don't understand what purpose does that serve? What does that do? What's the purpose of mumble rap? Can anybody explain me the purpose of mumble rap? I don't understand. It bewilders me, man.
That's what I'm saying. Like I respect that it's their lane, it's their generation. So it is what it is. But I can't listen to it. I can't do it. I don't even know who they are. Nothing. They all look the same to me. No, not trying to be, but no discrimination. But they all look the same. They dress the same.
Dreads, tattoos all over the face.
Yeah.
Hoops in their nose, hooks and shit. I mean, tats and piercings everywhere and all kind of other weird stuff. And then everybody look like they sip on lean and do it. And they brag about doing drugs, man. I understand that, man. Yeah. Remember, there was a time where you were like, that was the last thing you wanted to admit. Oh yeah, I'm doing drugs.
Right.
Who want to be like, it's popular to talk, but do drugs now and rap. I don't understand it, bro. Who brags about that?
I can't get into it, man. But listen, let's get into some boxing real quick. So, I had did a video about DILLIAN Whyte, Deontay Wilder. Then I see my brother Cali. He had a video about Whyte and Wilder. I saw the interview that IFL TV did with Eddie Hearn. I don't know if Abel and I know Cali saw it. I don't know if Abel and Kurt saw it, but Eddie Hearn was going into how the WBC is pretty much protecting Deontay Wilder, and they expect Deontay Wilder to be franchised in 2020 to avoid fighting DILLIAN Whyte, so on and so forth. I know Cali's opinions on this already because I just watched his video. And obviously, I know my opinion, but Kurt, I want to get your opinion on it. Because the whole thing to me just sounds absolutely ridiculous for people to even believe that Deontay Wilder wants to duck DILLIAN Whyte. That just sounds utterly ridiculous, in my opinion. But let me ask you, what's your thoughts on that, Kurt?
First of all, we want to see the B sample. That ain't gonna happen. Second of all, Deontay ducking Wilder ducking Lillian Whyte. No, I don't see it. It's just ridiculous. It's asinine. I want to see Wilder knock out Whyte. This guy been mouthing off for, it seemed like, for a decade. It just seems like that. It just seems that long, man. And I'm sick of Hearn and Whyte. Hearn is protecting Whyte. He make up these crazy, outlandish stories about how Wilder's going out his way not to fight Whyte. Listen, when Wilder beat Ortiz, Bob Aaron said today that the Fury fight is still going to happen in February. It's not going to happen February 22nd. If you could just move Fury out the way for a few fights, let him get to Dillian Whyte, because that's the fight I want to see, because I want Wilder to shut Whyte's mouth up, man. I don't see what they see in Whyte. I mean, pieced up by, Chisora the second fight before he got caught with that big left hook. I do want Wilder to shut some people up, man. So, I'm anticipating that fight happening.
Go ahead, Abel.
Deontay Wilder is ducking DILLIAN Whyte. No, I'm just kidding. But here's the thing, though, bro. That is a complete contradiction. Because, remember, earlier this week, Deontay Wilder has made it very, very clear he has no intentions of accepting the WBC franchise title belt. Because he made it very, very clear, and you can check it out on BoxingNews24.com. He made it very, very clear that he wants to give, mandatories and other challengers the opportunity to become the best. So the statements that Eddie Hearn and Dillian Whyte said, and I didn't see the interview, but I could probably picture it anyway, that's a complete contradiction. Because remember, we have not seen the B sample from Dillian Whyte's failed drug test. And more importantly to that, listen, you've had multiple opportunities to put yourself in the position to be the mandatory in the first place. Remember, Wilder said, and the WBC said, if you beat Luis Ortiz, you are the guaranteed mandatory. And they didn't want to smoke. Even Dominic Breazeale, before the Dominic Breazeale versus Deontay Wilder fight, also said that, hey, if you feel that you're the mandatory and you're being your fiend screw, let's fight. Let's do it. Let's decide who's going to be the number one mandatory. Let's do it. And Dillian Whyte didn't want to do that. So I don't feel sorry for Dillian Whyte at all. He's a complete idiot and always loves to contradict himself and keeps listening to Eddie Hearn too much. And honestly, to be truthful, he should be banned from boxing because he's already failed a drug test again, and they're doing everything they can to sweep that under the rug while we out there trying to make sure that story is still relevant. You know what I mean? Listen, Deontay Wilder is not dunking Dillian Whyte. Listen, Dillian Whyte gets knocked out within 4 rounds. Are you kidding me? Deontay Wilder has bigger fish to fry. All right, he wants to become undisputed. And more importantly to that, he sent a direct message loud and clear to the other sanctioned bodies that you need me. You need me to represent your title belts because I'm the one that's making the most money in the heavyweight division. Who's else is drawing more views? Not Joshua, not Fury, and sure as hell not Luis Ortiz at this point. It's all on Deontay Wilder's shoulders. He's the guy who's been doing most of the heavy lifting. So at the end of the day, though, man, and I'm going to conclude by saying this. Dillian Whyte needs to shut up, need to fight some people, but more importantly, do that. Stop lying. Stop making yourself look bad out in these streets because the way you sound a complete hypocrite and you love to contradict yourself.
Hey, you know what? I can ask you something. Where's this balance and great defense and lateral movement, this fleet of footness for Dillian Whyte to cause Deontay Wilder problems? This dude's a stiff. He's basically flat-footed, man. He's somebody that's tailor-made for Deontay Wilder. No kind of lateral movement, no upper body movement, no head movement. He uses the high guard. You know what Deontay Wilder does to dudes who use the high guard, man. I mean, this fight's only ended one way, and that's a massive concussion for Dillian Whyte. It's going to be a brief fight. So I'm just so – and Dillian Whyte has some of the worst balance that I've seen in boxing, man. We've seen this doing it not just in prior fights, but in his last fight against Oscar Rivas. Dude's balance was terrible. His footwork is terrible, man. I mean, and can somebody explain to me what's so great about Dillian Whyte that's Deontay Wilder's supposed to be afraid of this dude? I mean, the one guy that would give Wilder problems that we've seen is somebody like Fury. He bought him. Fury and Ortiz are the only ones, in my opinion, that gives Wilder any kind of problem. The rest of these dudes, and even them dudes, more than likely going to sleep. So, I mean, and that rest of these dudes going to sleep as well, man. Ain't nothing changing.
You know what, though, bro? It's like this. It's going to end one way. Just like what happened to Bahrain Stavern when he tried to put the high guard up. Wilder went through like Swiss cheese. 1, 2. Boom, 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 boom. Like 78 say. Night, night, nigga.
Hey, I just watched the video, right? While you guys was talking of Shannon Briggs. And he quickly caught dude. First, he pushed somebody from KSI team. And he walked through the crowd. Somebody else, one of them was talking, and he caught him with a left hook. Bam! Across the gate, man. Across the gate.
Oh, yeah, baby. That's Shannon Briggs for you.
It's been going viral, man. It's up to like 30,000 views in an hour, man. It's going viral. Man, Shannon, that's my brother, man. I'm gonna get him.
Was it a big dude? Was it a big dude? You got to get Shannon Briggs on, man.
I'm gonna try to get him on Monday, man. I'm gonna get him on Monday, man. Yeah, man, that dude is entertaining, man. And listen, people think that it's an act. It ain't an act, man. That is just who he is. You know what I mean? Shannon he is who he is. He told me, right? I say, yo, Shannon, you going to Saudi Arabia? He said, if you going, I'm going. Let's go. If you go, I go. Champ, I ain't going to Saudi Arabia, man.
Hey, you got to check that out, Blue, when he was talking about every time when he after he had hit that dude the last time, he shoved him. He shoved the other dude from the KSI team, and he kept going. Brownsville, 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 Brownsville. He ain't gonna do nothing in Brownsville.
I love Shannon Briggs, man.
You know what though, man? That's just hilarious though, bro. But speaking of Saudi Arabia though, bro. Hey, Blue, did you hear about the story about the WWE wrestlers that had to wait 7 hours to leave Saudi Arabia back to the United States?
Yeah, I heard that they was holding him.
Yeah, they was basically holding them because they said that it was basically some sort of mechanical issue. But there's been conflicting reports that because the Saudi prince was retaliating because WWE cut off the live feed of their live shows of Raw because WWE wasn't getting the money that they were supposed to get off of their shows in Saudi Arabia. And the scary part about it is that Vince and his crew, and along with other elite superstars from the WWE, kind of left the other stars hanging because they already had their own personal charter flights and they already left us back to the United States, which kind of draws out to the point though, why is it that Eddie Hearn and those guys are planning on a fight in Saudi Arabia knowing how dangerous that area is? You remember because the Washington Post journal got not just killed, but he got his head chopped off. Yeah. So I just don't understand it, bro.
Man, he just got his head chopped off. He got his body cut up into multiple pieces, man.
Damn right.
Yeah.
Just leave it at
Saudi
that.
Arabia ain't playing around, man, at all.
Yeah, man. It's but back to the sport of boxing, man. So Andre Ward decided to turn down the option. First of all, let me get y'all thoughts on the numbers from Kovalev and Canelo. $8 million? $8 million?
Well, so they paid Canelo. That Canelo event didn't make no money. That's basically what it didn't make any money.
Right.
It took a loss. It took a major loss.
It did a gate of $8 to $10 million. If they did $8 to $10 million at the gate, let's round up. Let's say the concession. How much you think that do? You throw in another $2 million to be generous.
So how long is Zone gonna be willing to take all these losses? That's my question at some point. I heard that they were like tightening the purse strings. You know what I'm saying? So I want to know how long they're gonna be willing to continue to take losses like this.
Right.
I mean, at some point they're gonna wanna have to start making some type of a profit or some type of return, right?
Right.
Or they're gonna want to continue to take losses. I mean, it just doesn't make any sense. To me, at some point, you want to return.
$12 million.
Yeah.
Yeah,
$12
bro.
million.
That's Kovalev first.
How much was Kovalev getting paid? $12 million, you said?
He got $12 million.
And how much Canelo got?
Oh, they say he got.
I already got 35. So.
Yeah, some 30. So they spent, what is that? $47 million, right? On two fighters, and the Gates did $8 million, almost $9 million in revenue, and then it only sold 10,000 tickets.
That's it.
That's what they're saying.
Only
Man,
10,000
wow.
tickets. They get their money back.
Hey, can I just say though too? Hey, Renee Boxion, we want you in this conversation though, bro.
No, but you said the stream didn't do that well because they be talking about it, man. They've been real quiet about how many consecutive streams it's been. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Kurt, what you think about that, Kurt?
Man,
I'm shocked that it only sold 10,000 tickets, man. They losing money for the simple fact that Canelo is fighting on the app. You're not getting any profits.
Nope.
Like review, that's where you get the money. If Canelo was smart, he would have went to PBC because it's a bigger platform. Can you imagine, him fighting on Fox, and pay-per-view? It's a better market. Some people don't look for apps like that. Like, it's very easy to call a cable company up or press a button on your remote and you got the Canelo fight. It's more accessible.
Right.
And you making money off the back end. It's just like I said before, Al Haney is big because of his sponsorship. He has powerful friends with billions of dollars that invested in his product because they made money when he put Mayweather and Pacquiao together, Mayweather and McGregor. They saw an interest in their return. They saw profit on their return. And if Canelo would have went on there, it would have been better for him. You know, and Canelo really don't need no promoter, but you got to do the footwork. You know, Pacquiao didn't need a promoter, but Canelo definitely don't. With him selling only 10,000 tickets and he's supposed to be the face of boxing, he's doing himself a disservice because he will be more popular if he fought on PBC and pay-per-view. That's the old model. That model will always work. You give a fight that people are interested in on pay-per-view, people is going to purchase the fight. 500,000, 600,000, 400,000. You're still going to make extra money for yourself. You get a guaranteed purse and plus the back end money and stuff. So you know it's the wrong decision that he made. But fighting on an app, it just limits his accessibility and his money because that contract is incentive based, performance based type of contract. People don't really understand that, but I do.
Yeah, go ahead.
Can I say this though too? I mean, you guys obviously know this, but for everybody in the chat, when Oscar De La Hoya was basically in rehab during that time when both Al Heyman and Richard Schaefer was running Golden Boy, do you guys notice how when those two guys, both Schaefer and Heyman, were running Golden Boy, how they were in the basically close into the status of what PBC is currently?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Now,
there were some of that. Go ahead.
yeah, because the thing is, Canelo should have noticed that by now that Oscar basically burning those bridges with those two guys basically changed the entire landscape of boxing. Because if those two guys would have been the ones controlling Golden Boy Promotions, then the PBC would have never existed. Because then you could HBO could have still been in business, and then obviously I'm sure Floyd Mayweather would have no problem working with all the other guys in Golden Boy, and things would have been totally different. But that's just near here or there. I think to me though, bro, Canelo's gonna have to really wake up and realize that fighting on an app is not gonna be successful to you in your terms of your career. Because listen, I've already talked with 3 other people in my workplace who are obviously Mexican. They don't even know when Canelo fights because they can't see him. They can't use their phones to order an app. They're used to ordering those fights on pay-per-view and seeing him on the television screen. So signing that huge deal with the Zone, hurt his career long term. And until Canelo, and it's only a matter of when he decides to leave Golden Boy and probably terminate his contract with the Zone, that he's going to have to really sign with a network that basically is going to have all the accessibility that he could have to really basically get back some of the fans that he lost.
Yeah, I mean the numbers, it just doesn't look good, man. It just it's when you look at it, if you pay in the fighters $47 million and combined, and that and look what you're getting in your return, it just you didn't get your what kind of profit did they get? They didn't make no profit. They didn't get no profit.
Well, you know why? Because Canelo needs to fight a threat. People only get excited when you fight a threat. People already knew that Kovalev once got stopped by an absolute novice. And let's keep it 100, man. Anthony Yarde was a novice in the sport, man. Dude had 12 amateur fights, and he had never fought anybody in the pros. So, I mean, the fact that he almost stopped Kovalev, man, and then Canelo pushed to have that fight within 2 months, which is garbage, and fighting a 36-year-old, beaten down, already ready to quit the sport, Kovalev. I mean, that's not a threat, bro. I mean, so people want to see Canelo fight a threat. If he fights a threat, I guarantee you things are going to change. Or he'll at least do better numbers.
Yeah, and listen, for me as a hardcore boxing fan, the Zone don't bother me. I don't listen, it's convenient for me. When I went up to the Robert Easter Granados and Ruben Gallimore fight, I was able to watch the fights while I was driving up there. You know what I mean? So it was convenient to me, but I understand if you're not in our line of work and you just...
Yeah, I got it too, Blue. So I ain't gonna lie to you. It's really convenient. If you leave, you can watch it on your phone, man. It helps.
Right. But you know what it is, Callie, is that we don't only use it for our enjoyment. We use it for work. You know what I'm saying?
Fast.
So it's convenient for us. But just as a casual fan that just want to sit there and click on some boxing and watch some boxing and you question and you like, listen, and they don't do a great job of advertisement either, because I forgot about the whole Anui what's his name Donaire fight.
No, that fight. Yeah.
I was forgetting about it until it was up on me. I forgot about it.
Now we got reminded. I got reminded in the Bay Area because they right over Nito Donaire for San Leandro. So you can stand in San Leandro and Oakland at the same time. So that's why it was a reminder. That's why I got reminded about it. But I said 4:30 a.m. Come on, man. That's 6:30 a.m. You guys stop. That's terrible for us. Look, I'm not trying to say it, but if you're trying to market an app towards Americans, you need to be trying to make a fight around us, even if it's international. You need to make it around a different time. At least make it at noon on the weekend.
Right. You're trying to market your product to a certain group of people, meaning the United States, but yet you're not making it convenient for us. So, like I said, that Donaire Anui fight, I almost forgot about it because of the time, you know, and the time and the day it came on, which made me almost forget about it. I knew about the fight, but I almost forgot because of the time and the day. It came on Thursday. You know what I'm saying? And it came on at 7:30 in the morning. So, you know, it is, and then the whole Canelo Sergey fight, you pushed it back to because you didn't want to compete with the UFC. That says a lot. You know what I'm saying? It's just, I mean, for me, I like it because listen, I get to rewatch fights. I get to go back and see what I missed. But I get, and most importantly, it's good for work. But outside of that, if I'm just a fan that don't know, you know, all the details, I'm sure fans are probably sitting there like, wait, what? Anui and Donaire for when? And it was a Thursday. You know what I'm saying? So that, I mean, and then the Canelo fight, you like, oh, listen, how many people came? I had 3,000, 4,000 people watching my stream, and they like, who won? Who won? Who won? It ain't even start yet. It's 1 o'clock in the morning.
1:15 a.m. is when they finally started to touch gloves at 1:15 a.m. on the East Coast. Ridiculous, man. 10:15 Pacific time. I mean 10:15, not 10:15 p.m. Pacific time on the West Coast, man. That's too late for a fight, man.
Yeah, and that's not. And listen, I went to the Demetrius Andrade. What's the dude name he fought in replace of Billy Joe Saunders? African dude.
Kata Wanda, whatever the name.
Yeah.
Wanda, whatever it is.
Yeah, that dude, right? So that was at the Boston Garden, and I went there. And I don't think people understood or remembered this, but because Demetrius Andrade is not a boxer, not a star like Canelo, that fight, Demetrius Andrade made his ring walk at 12:10. He made his ring walk at 12:10, and
wow.
And John Skip and them was at the.
That was that marathon card, right?
Yeah, when he fought. They were adding. This is I didn't, and I'm not making this up. Anybody was there could tell people this. They had added people to the card, and nobody even knew that they was on the card. Mainly Scott Quigg. We looked at the jumbotron overhead, and it says everybody, because it was like a little intermission, and everybody looked up and they're like, Scott Quigg is fighting. Like, Scott Quigg. So I'm like, what Scott Quigg is that? Because he's a name. So he should at least be the co-main event on this type of card. So we looking up, and I'm like, that can't be Scott Quigg. And lo and behold, and guys, I'm not making this up. It was an intermission. We were moving around. Everybody was moving around, and Scott Quigg was at the entrance, getting ready to make a ring walk. And we looked, because people was just walking around. It was like nothing was, and we looked and we like, yo, that's the real Scott Quigg getting ready to make a ring walk. Who's he fighting? Everybody started scrambling, reporters, everybody, they were scrambling, and they like, yo, people asked Eddie Hearn, where did this come from? It wasn't on the sheet. You know what I mean? It wasn't on the fight sheet or nothing. Where did this come from? They said he was a late ad. Scott Quigg? How is Scott Quigg a late ad? That was so bizarre to me, man. So bizarre to me. And like I said, Demetrius Andrade ring walk at 12:10. And no disrespect to Demetrius Andrade, but guess what? That place was, by the time he got to the ring, no lie, it might have been 400 people there.
Are you serious? Wow.
Unbelievable.
400 people. Because now it was too late. And remember, everybody truly wanted to see Katie Taylor versus the Serrano sister. Remember, she fought not Amanda, her sister. She fought her on the undercard. And
remember this though. Like you talking about a place on the East Coast, not just that, but just anywhere. You get the road. When you get to like 10 o'clock, some 11 o'clock, people want to go. Either want to go home to the bed, or they want to go to the movies, or they want to go to the club. There's options. Nobody want to just sit and wait for a fight all night. You want to watch? Nobody's thinking of you. And a lot of people are getting tired. You're yawning. You're like, when the fight gonna happen, man? It's 10 p.m. and you were like, no, I'm tired. 11 p.m. Especially if you work early in the morning on the weekend. I mean, during the week, you get tired, man. You don't wait for no fight.
I'm not making this up, right? I was so tired, and everybody know that was there because the dude from the Zone, all of them, he was so upset. He was pissed, man. He was pissed that it started so late and so forth and so on, right? And tell me this, right? So everybody started clearing out after the Katie Taylor fight and the Scott Quigg fight. And then after the Andrade, I felt bad for Demetrius Andrade. I completely felt bad. I felt embarrassed for him, bro. It was like 400 people, 500 people there. It was a place complete. And it was and the worst part about it is it was packed. Hold on, let me. It was packed. It wasn't sold out, but it was a nice crowd. You know what I mean? And then we was there, and then they started. Let me tell you guys something. They started at 1:30, 1:20 in the afternoon.
Wow.
That is crazy, bro.
Yes, I was right. It was that marathon fight. I was like, it started at 10:30 a.m. over here. It's like, this is ridiculous, man. We tried to want to put one of the UK moves. We don't do that out here in the States, man. We don't watch fights like that literally all day, like a whole marathon card, man. You know, you like to get a break between fights. If there are fights in the morning, like in the UK, they want to break it up. We'll get a break, and then we can go back and watch the fights a little bit later. You know what I'm saying? It's not a situation where we just sit and watch fights for 12 hours. We don't do that here, man.
And then on top of it, so then they had the post-fight press conference. I was like, I can't stay for that. It was at Kurt, I'm not making this up. It was at 2 o'clock in the morning.
What?
And so I said, yo, I'm going home because I was driving back home, and that's about 3.5, 4-hour ride from Boston to New York. I said, yo, listen, I'm driving back home, right? And so I drove back home, and a couple of people wrote me from other boxing websites and stuff, and they was like, nah, I'm gonna stay for the post fight. I said, I'm going home, and because see, so many people, especially you live in New York or from New York, you forget that everywhere is not New York, and so they stayed there, and they went to get a hotel room, and I'm not making this up. They went to get hotel rooms, and they were sold out. And there was no transportation back to New York. They ended up sleeping at the train station.
Oh, man.
Wow.
Unbelievable.
And I told them to leave with me, but they stayed there. And I drove back home. They ended up sleeping at the train station because there was no hotels for them to get, and there was no transportation back to New York.
Wow. So that's at least in Barry. You can get a hotel somewhere out here, man.
Yep.
Listen, I'm not used to being in a place where you can't get a hotel. There's hotels everywhere. You can always get a hotel. That's great.
Right.
Yeah. So it was so we're gonna start taking some calls, but yeah, I just wanted to say that, man. So so the Canelo fight, that long, man. I can imagine what the people was going through there. I can imagine, man. It's just listen, man. And it's on top of it. you lose people because it's on the app. I could just turn it off. I ain't looking at my phone all that time. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Yo, let's 262, bro. This Avery with Pena. What's happening?
What's shaking with you, my brother?
I'm chilling. I see you got Cali on the panel, man. Salute to you, Cali, man. Hey, what I want to talk about, man, I look at it like this. The zone constantly gonna lose money for the simple fact that they are. Only reason why I'm saying they overpaying fighters. Fighters get y'all money. But if you got fighters that's not willing to fight, the fights that the people want to see, man, they gonna lose money every time, man. You know what I mean? I feel like they're gonna lose money every time, man. Nobody want to see people tired of seeing these so-called star fighters, man, fighting these bus drivers and cab drivers, man. Okay, Canelo got $350 million, what, 11 fight deal? But like I said, the zone is going to constantly lose money, especially on him, man, because he's not fighting nobody. He's not fighting the people that everybody want to see him fight. You know what I mean? And that's going to be constant. You know, at least with Al Heyman and what he do for his fighters, you know what I mean? It set them up and put them in a position. You know what I mean? If they win or lose, man, put them in a position, man, I guess for everybody to make money. That's really what I call the expound though, man. Like I said, man, you know what I mean? The zone tripping, man. I understand they trying to still break in the market and all this other stuff, but man, they definitely gonna lose money, man. You got people in their own stable. I'm not just gonna pick on the zone, but you know what I mean? Pick on Matchroom too, man. You got fighters in their own stable, man, that don't want to fight each other, but steady want to point the finger like they can't get no fights because people holding people back and all this other stuff, man. Look, man, let the fans choose who want to fight who, man. And I guarantee you will not be disappointed, man. Promoters get their head out their ass, and boxers, that's what y'all do. Y'all get paid to fight, man. Let's fight. You know what I mean? How many greats got losses on their belt? You know what I mean? It's just crazy. No, that's all I wanted to talk about, though, man. Like I said, man,
you
constantly getting robbed. We constantly getting robbed. You know what I'm saying? They get
Canelo not fighting nobody in his prime, brother. You know what I'm saying? We want to see Canelo fight somebody in their prime who's an actual threat to him. Fight a style that causes him problems. He won't fight them type of styles, and he's not being forced to. And that's the problem. And that's what that loses excitement. People want to see you fight a threat. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. And I feel you, man. And that's what I'm saying, though. That $8 million or whatever that they made, man, look, they're going to lose every time, man. If they keep this up, they're going to lose every time, man. That's why we need Terrence Crawford. We need Errol Spence. We need Deontay Wilder. You know what I'm saying? We need Regis, even though he just lost to Josh Taylor, but that was a good fight. We need people like them, man, that's willing to fight anybody, man.
But you know what the problem with them are, Avery? This is the problem is that they can't be bought.
Right.
They can't be bought. So that's why I tell people, you know, their star power is self-made.
Right.
It's self-made. Deontay Wilder's star power is self-made. Errol is self-made. Even Terrence Crawford. Right? Canelo Alvarez was passed the baton from Floyd Mayweather. People don't want to admit it. They don't want to just understand it. They don't want to just say, listen, you know something, you're right. He was gifted the baton. He directly passed him the baton. Could you imagine if Floyd Mayweather held Errol Spence on his undercard as his co-main event for 3 straight cards or however many it was, and then fought Errol Spence in a major fight to break records, and then people act like Errol lose, and then people act like Errol never lost, and now he's a star. People act like Canelo won that fight.
Man, come on, man. I seen it coming, man. I knew what it was, man. Like I told you, Blue, that man, Canelo's gonna knock that man out between the 9th and 11th, man. And Kovalev in the retirement. I already seen that coming, man.
Right.
You know what I mean? Now that's truly taking the easy way out. And now I'm finna tell you, Canelo's finna drop. He probably finna go back to like 160.
No, he's not going back to 160. I've been told that for a while. He's gonna go back to like 168. And then he may fight somebody at 175, depending on who it is. I don't see him fighting like a Viterbi with somebody like that, in my opinion. I just don't see it.
Nope.
It ain't gonna be regardless. It ain't gonna be nobody worth us wanting to see him fight.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You got these guys, Andrade, the Charlos, some of the main three. Forget Triple G for right now, to be honest with you. Just the Charlos and Andrade, just off that, man. Like, you know what I mean? They've been chasing this man for a couple years, man.
Mm-hmm.
You fight once, maybe twice a year. You know what I mean? You got hella fights because you fighting all these, I ain't gonna say all these bums or whatever, but you know what I mean? You got over 60-some fights, man, but like, out of them 60, man, name some people that was worth, you know what I mean? Name some people that was worth watching them fight, man.
I agree. If you and Kurt, if you guys ask anybody, who did Canelo fight his first 30 fights? They don't even know they don't know what you're talking about.
Hold
on, Kelly. Hold on, Kelly. Let Kurt cook on it.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, you know, I follow the younger dynamic fighters, but the average fan or above average fan is not going to know who Canelo fought. You know, a lot of Mexican fighters, you know, they fight in Miami or Mexico, and they build their record, they build their resume, you know, fight nobody. So when you see them, you know, they come over here, you know, no knock against them. They, you know, they fight who they can fight, you know. And they come over here, they may be 40-0 already with 35 knockouts. That's why he had so many fights, you know. And then he started fighting name opponents after a while. But, you know, early on, that's true. That's true.
Yeah, you just don't know. You don't know who these people are on their resume. Go ahead, Kelly.
No, I was told that. I mean, don't be surprised. If Canelo, he's thinking about he may go up to cruiserweight and fight somebody like Sefer Safari or something like that. And just to try to say that he had a great accomplishment and fought and dominated at multiple divisions. I mean, he ain't going to win a world title up there unless it's somebody like Sefer Safari comes across the title or something like that on accident. Then, of course, you know, Canelo go jump in and take that fight. And people are like, it's a huge risk. I'm like, man, come on, man. These fights aren't risks. These are kind of guys that are too slow, don't really have a lot of boxing skill, really can't do anything to Canelo, and probably will pay him to take a dive. So I don't know, man. I mean, I just want to see this dude fight somebody real. You know what I'm saying? For once, stop fighting people who you know you can whoop. He fights dudes who we know he can whoop. What he learned from the Floyd Mayweather fight was, let me avoid anybody who has you know, fleet of foot, anybody who's a good athlete and has real boxing skill. Let's not fight them kind of guys. Let me fight stiff, flat-footed dudes that are too slow to hit me, that I can counter all on a regular basis. And that's all he fights. He's not going to fight anybody who may have better hand speed than him, better, especially the footwork. The footwork, because his footwork isn't that good. Canelo doesn't cut off the ring. He can't cut off the ring. That's something so he don't want to fight anybody who's going to that he has to cut off the ring against, because he can't do it. That's why I tell people, if Billy Joe Saunders is allowed to take Xylophone, he'll beat Canelo, because Canelo's not going to be able to keep up with him. He's going to be able to he going to jab Canelo and he's not going to be there to be hit back. And that's one of the problems with him. Canelo is not going to like that type of stuff. He don't want to deal with that. So that's why I remember Eric Gomez for Golden Boy said that. Remember he said after the David Lemieux fight, he said, "Well, we're not worried about fighting Billy Joe Saunders. He's a runner." That was the response.
Let me say this, right? Salute to KF Harris in the super chat. Salute. Let me tell y'all this, right? I just went back and looked at Canelo's resume because I just had to do it. I had to do it, right? And his first 22 fights, right? He fought a dude 3 times by the name of Francisco Villanueva, right? The first time he fought this dude, the dude record was, brace yourselves, he was 4-5. That's the first time they fought, right? The second time they fought, the dude built himself up to a 4-14 record. So he didn't even get a win. He fought 16 more fights. He was 0-14-2.
Unbelievable.
Right? Get this. Then they fought a third time. And the dude was then a whopping, get this, brace yourselves, 5-17. He actually picked up a win out of his next 5 fights. He picked up a win, right? 3 times in his first 22 fights. This is a guy he faced 3 times. Is that now outrageous? And then you will have people tell us that this dude is the face of boxing. No, I'll say it again. He was directly passed the baton by the biggest star in the sport of boxing, arguably history, not named Muhammad Ali or Mike Tyson. And the only reason I don't say Sugar Ray Robinson is because of the time that he fought in. And if you just put a picture of Sugar Ray Robinson in front of somebody, they might not know who he is. But this dude, I'll say this again. The first time he fought the dude, his name is Francisco Villanueva. The first time they fought, he was 4-5. He fought him after the first time. Going to tell y'all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
He only won one more time since the first time he fought him. That's disgraceful.
But Kelly, from the first time Canelo fought him, he fought him 10 fights later, and the dude didn't pick up a win. 10 fights later, the dude still didn't pick up a win, and he actually went 0-14 since the last time.
So he was Canelo's own personal punching bag.
Right. Now check this out though, Cali. He knocked him out, right? Again, right? Then Canelo fought Gabriel Martinez, who was 17-0, right? For the WBA Feder Central welterweight title. I've never even heard of that. And then he fought Francisco Villanueva again. What was Francisco Villanueva doing to garner these fights with Canelo Alvarez?
Guaranteed knockout. See, Canelo learned early.
Right. And so people will be like, well, no, because he was doing. Listen, the next time Canelo fought somebody that we knew, right, is when he fought Jose Miguel Cotto's brother, right? And he got dropped. He got dropped in that fight. The first time he stepped up in competition, that's the fight he got dropped in. He got dropped in that fight. Now, he won that fight, right, against Cotto. He got up and won the fight. Then he fought Leonello Coelho, right? Then he fought old Carlos Boulder, man. So by the time he had almost 25 fights, the only person he had on his resume was Carlos Boulder, man, and Miguel Cotto's brother. Then he fought Lovemore Indu, who was 48-12. Then he fought Matthew Hatton, Ryan Rose, Alfonso Gomez, Kermit Cintron, and then he really stepped up when he fought a 50,000-year-old Shane Mosley.
So where's all these guys at, Boo?
This is what I'm trying to tell you. This is what I'm trying to tell people, man. And people, and then let's not. Then he went from Shane Mosley to Josito Lopez to Austin Trout. So now the best person on his resume was Austin Trout at that point in time. And then he garnered a fight with Floyd Mayweather. So he fought Josito Lopez on Floyd Mayweather undercard. He fought Shane Mosley on Floyd Mayweather undercard. He fought Kermit Cintron on Floyd Mayweather undercard, right? The only guy he didn't fight on Floyd Mayweather undercard was Austin Trout.
Well, you know about Carlos Baltimore. Carlos Baltimore was 33 when he fought Floyd. He was 37 when he turned 38 when he fought Canelo. Canelo has a history of fighting these old dudes, man. Really old.
Hold on. Rod Rivas said Canelo never been dropped.
No, you don't know what you're talking about, man.
You don't watch boxing, brother. And the fanboy is you. You just
he started watching Canelo during the Floyd fight. I guarantee you, or after.
He just said Canelo never been dropped, fanboys. No, you're the fanboy, and yes, he was dropped. Sorry, brother.
Come back again, motherfucker.
Sorry, bro. Rod Rivas. You sound like you lived with Canelo when he in training camp. Get him out of here. These dudes are amazing, man.
Yeah, man.
Unbelievable. And
that dude would drink Canelo sweat, bro. I'm not joking, man.
Yeah. This is ridiculous. Jose, can you imagine? Listen, by the time he had his 25 fight or more, nobody on his resume was better than what Devin Haney is doing.
Yeah.
So he fought a slew of club fighters. I mean, you can't even call some of these dudes club fighters, man. So, I mean, these are restaurant workers, man. He was fighting basically, man.
Right. You tell me so now they like, oh, look at this dude, look what he's doing. And I'm not saying he's not good. It's just that Corner Talk said, Blue, now you want to talk numbers, but not when it's Wilder's, do you? What numbers you want to talk about with Wilder? Corner Talk. Let's talk about it.
I'm definitely tired of people talking about Wilder, man.
Right. What numbers you talking about, Corner Talk? Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. See, this is what I'm talking about, man. These dudes are amazing, boy. They're amazing. Now you want to talk about numbers. You ain't want to talk about Wilder's numbers. What Wilder's numbers am I not talking about? What Wilder numbers am I not talking about? All right, let's say it wasn't the Cotto fight. One of the fights he got dropped in. Which fight that he got dropped in? I could have sworn it was the Miguel Cotto fight.
I know he got rocked in the Cotto fight. He got rocked. I'm not sure if he got dropped. I'm replaying the fight in my head as I speak. I know he got rocked, real bad, but he survived. So
I know the fight he got dropped in. The fight he got dropped in, Adrian Broner was on that card. So whatever card they fought on together, whatever card him and Adrian Broner fought on, he was dropped in that fight. And nonetheless, that resume is horrible. Horrible.
And they had the audacity to say that Canelo Alvarez is the face of boxing.
Right. But they don't want to talk about resume. But these be the same people that talk about Deontay Wilder resume.
You know what though, bro? I'm gonna say this real quick before I let y'all go ahead and speak.
Man.
Yeah.
You know what? Let me just say this real quick. I'm gonna have a live stream tomorrow night, and we're gonna go in on Canelo like you've never seen before. You understand? Because listen, I'm so sick and tired of people basically saying that Canelo is the best Mexican fighter of all time. When you basically got guys like Eric Morales, Marco Antonio Barrera, and Juan Manuel Marquez basically criticizing this dude nonstop for all the reasons we've been talking about.
And he by far is nowhere near the best fighter in Mexico.
Thank you.
By far. Kurt, you want to cook on that? He the best fighter in Mexico history?
No, man.
Hell no.
Listen, man. Canelo is a very good fighter. We'll be idiots to say he's not. I got him number 3 pound per pound today. But Mexican fighters are a big part of boxing, and Salvador Sanchez is probably the best Mexican fighter that I've ever seen, followed by Kid Azteca. You have fighters like Ricardo Finito Lopez and Carlos Aldete and Ruben Olivares. Excellent fighters, man. He's not up there with that group. Let's wait till he retires. The smartest thing Canelo did in his career is he changed his style when he fought Mayweather. He fights more like an American fighter, but he'll probably be somewhere in the top 10 when he's finished. But he's no Ricardo Finito Lopez, Julio Cesar Chavez Sr., and Salvador Sanchez, because Canelo is getting a lot of criticism from the old school Mexican boxing fans and fighters. That's why Eric Morales and Juan Manuel Marquez said, yeah, he's good and everything, but he's not like how we are or how we used to be.
Yeah, man. And to say the best, that's ridiculous. I want to ask y'all another question, right? My brother Kurt Anderson put me up on this, man, and I'm addicted to it. This Carlos Monzon story on Netflix. Did anybody else see this? Is watching this, man?
Nah, man, I haven't seen nothing, man. I'm hardly at home a lot of time, but when I am at home, man, I just haven't put on Netflix. I'm gonna have to go get it and check it out, man. There's a couple things that people told me to check out on Netflix. I haven't checked out.
What you say, Blue?
It's called what's it called again, Kurt? It's a Carlos Monzon story.
Carlos Monzon knockout blow. It's on Netflix. It's a 13-part miniseries. I just got finished watching the last episode today. Classic, tremendous, man. Whoever played Manzone, he nailed him. Manzone was a volatile, loaded gun, man. He was mean, just like Jake LaMotta, man.
Mm-hmm.
Killed his wife.
Yeah.
I'm finna check that out. You know, I just bought the new projector. You know what I mean? Put it in my man cave. Definitely finna have family night. Definitely finna check that out tonight.
Yeah, man. I watched the first episode, man, and Kurt put me on to it. And I watched one episode, man. I got into an argument with my wife one Sunday, man. She was like, "You just," I ain't even lying, man. She's like, "You just gonna sit here and then once you listen, man. I ain't moving. Let me have my time right now, man. You know what I'm saying? I listen. That
Is that good, Blue?
Oh man, I love it, man. And I didn't finish it yet. I'm gonna finish it as soon as this stream is over. But man, I get my little food, man. I sit down and watch it, man. And it's my version is in subtitles. Kurt, yours is too?
Yeah, I want it because it's more authentic because, you know, they was in Argentina. So it just gives you more of an authentic feel when I'm watching the subtitles and they speak the Spanish. I like that.
Yeah. It's just, man, it's real, man. It's real, man. I was enjoying it for real, man. I just watched episode after episode after episode after episode. Like, I keep it on play, you know. When one episode go off, it automatically come on in 5 seconds. The second one,
right.
Man, oh man,
how many episodes did you see, Blue?
I'm up to 8, I believe.
Yeah, I'm definitely have to check that out tonight.
Yeah, I'm on episode 8. Yeah, Kenneth Johnson said I'm on episode 10. Yeah, man. I'm loving it, man. I'm loving it. That dude, man, he and you know what was tripping me out, Kurt? Everything's they like, hey man, you can't do this or you can't do that. You're not supposed to do this, man. Don't say this, don't say that. His lawyers and everything. Like, man, I'm Carlos Monzon. You know what I'm saying? That's what he kept telling people. I'm Carlos Monzon. Like, are you crazy, man? He told the DA, he told his lawyers, he told everybody. They like, yo, listen, man, don't say this, man. You're gonna incriminate yourself, yada yada. I'm like, what? I'm Carlos Monzon. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, he's like, yo, if I don't tell my story, who will? You know what I'm saying? Like, dude was, I ain't get to finish the end, man, but man, dude was serious, man. He was taking dudes, girls, and all types of stuff, man.
He was wild, man. He used to throw them up for old parties.
Mm-hmm.
You know, smoking and drinking and going to the casinos
for a whole month.
For y'all.
For a whole month.
Underrated fighter, y'all. Held the lineal middleweight championship for 7 years.
Yeah, he threw the party so long. I think it was his lawyer or something came in and is like, hey man, what are you doing? Like, you got wait up. He said, listen, I'm retired, man, and I'm trying to enjoy it. Get out. Get out. Like, yo, listen, man, for a whole month, he was just partying. The room was spinning. He just was partying.
Man,
definitely got to check that out.
Yeah, man, seriously, check out that documentary.
Yeah, you got to go check it out. Hey, yo, Avery, man, we're going to get to the next caller, though, right, bro?
Oh, yeah. Yes, sir. Salute to y'all, man.
Salute, bro. Call in anytime, bro.
Yes, sir.
Salute.
Yes, sir.
Yo, yeah, man. Abel, Cali, man, check that out, man. Y'all gonna love it, man. It gets you hooked. Hey, so let me ask you a question, right? I watched the interview Fred did, Barbershop Conversations, and he had a sit down. It's like 30 minutes, man, with Devin Haney. I was real entertained by that. You know, it was very, very good interview, and they had some interesting things to say. Devin Haney said that he sparred with Tank twice. The first time, he said Tank got the best of him, and Devin Haney's dad said, "I stopped the fight." He said he stopped the sparring match, the first one. He said because he seen all he needed to see. He said Tank was a bad boy, and Devin said, "Listen, he got the best of me the first go round." And then they got into a betting match. Floyd Mayweather and Adrian Broner got into an argument, and a friendly argument, and Broner was telling him, "Listen, I got my boy Tank with me right now. He'll do damage to anybody in your gym." And Floyd at the time was with Bill Haney and Devin Haney, and he said that Floyd looked at. He said, "I got my boy with me right now too," and he said, "What you want to do? You Broner, where you at? Let's make it happen." And he said Floyd hung up the phone and said, "Devin, you ready to spar?" And he said, "Yeah." He said they went to the doghouse, and they didn't even have no rounds. Floyd Mayweather was the referee. He said they was in a doghouse, no time limit, nothing, and just until somebody quit, and Tank was the one that quit the second go round. And so,
Wow.
you know, so Devin said, "Listen, he got me the first time. The second go round, I put it on him. I made him quit." So, what you think about that, Kurt?
That's very interesting. I'm gonna say this, man. Tank is a very good fighter, but it's still the jury is still out on him because I just got this intuition about him, and I hope I'm wrong. I just got this intuition about him that if things got bad for him in the ring, he may pull something like that, you know, where he quit on the stool. And like I said, I hope I'm wrong because Tank is explosive. He's fast. He has a terrific right hook, one of the best in boxing. You know, I was looking at some of his fights yesterday, last night, matter of fact. You know, and that's why it's kind of strange that Lomachenko called him out and he didn't respond. The only thing he said is, "I'm not going to entertain you." So that kind of raised my eyebrows. Where Haney, on the other hand, went aggressively at the guy he was avoiding. You know, so I just want to see when Tank goes through adversity in the ring, how he's going to respond. I mean, even though you look at a fight, a high profile fight yesterday, Inouye went through adversity and he did well. You know, he did well. He was cut. He was leaking from the nose and the cut, and he was hurt a bunch of times, and you know he fought through it. So I want to know if Tank has that same thing that's inside him, where he's either going to quit or he's going to fight back. He may get cut. He may get knocked down. He may be down 5 rounds to 3. You know, going into late in the fight, the 9th or 10th round or whatever. So I want to see how he responds. You know, I hope I'm wrong on intuition, but I want to see. But it's just weird to me that, you know, he just let Lomachenko punk him like that. That doesn't sit well with me.
Mm-hmm. What you think, Abel?
Can you repeat the question one more time?
I was just asking what you think. Devin Haney was giving a breakdown of why, you know, their history and how they got to where they are today. And it was because of the 2 sparring sessions. The first one, Devin said that Tank got the best of him. And the second one, and also keep in mind the first sparring session, Devin was 15 and Tank was 21, I believe, or something like that. No, Devin was 16 and Tank was 21. So, you know, that's the first sparring session. He said the second sparring session he was 17, so it was probably a year or 2 later. You know, and Tank was 22 or 23. You know, so
Okay.
and
Okay.
so they took.
I'll say it like this. I think that between those 2 sparring matches that I've seen in recent passes is that, you know, both these guys were basically developing at their own stages, though. But I think, to me, at this point right now, if you look at both Tank Davis and Devin Haney of what their potential, of what their sins could be, I think that Devin Haney has a lot more, you know, more room to grow and has a lot more in the tank that I would say that Tank Davis at this point in time, because, you know, Devin Haney, you know, he's becoming a little bit more active, while Tank Davis he's starting to return back into his activity again. But remember, he went through almost a period where he wasn't getting any fights. You know, he kept beefing with his promoter because Floyd doesn't know how to promote anything to save his life. So I think that both these guys' roads are a bit different, but I think at some point in time, when these guys are at their peak to where they want to be, there will be a collision course between those 2 men. And if anyone would ask me who would I decide with in terms of their upside, I would pick Devin Haney than Tank Davis at this current point in time.
Go ahead, Callie.
Well, I'm biased anyway, so Devin from my city, so what I'm saying, that's what it by. Hold on a second.
Yeah, 502 King said.
Oh, no, I can finish now instead of talking.
Okay.
So I don't want to interrupt, but I'm biased anyway. Devin Haney from my city, so but reality, what it shows is that that's probably why that sparring session, probably one of the reasons why that Floyd and TMT, that they didn't want to put Tank in there with Lomachenko, because he showed the ability, the ability to quit. And if you show that, you're supposed to show dog, man. If you keep fighting through that, they might have put him in there. But the fact that he quit probably let him know, okay, we know we can't put him in there with certain lower and try to hopefully build up dogging. But if you quit in sparring, bro, you can quit in a real fight. So that's not so reassuring to me. That actually makes me very suspicious of Tank, and wonder if he can really get to that next level, man. You quitting in sparring, man. And sparring is where you're supposed to show the most dog. There's just certain fighters have that extra oomph in them, and the Tank quitting in sparring, that's not a good thing, man. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, Devin, you can see Devin the dog, man. He hungry. You know what I'm saying? He won it all.
And Chaka, giddy up. He said, Tank is the truth. When Tank touch Haney, he will fall. Listen, man, you guys got to stop talking power. Power is not everything. Unless your name is Deontay Wilder, listen, don't mention power. There's so many people that stepped in the ring with Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather and Sugar Ray Leonard and Sugar Ray Robinson. And listen, if power was everything, then Floyd Mayweather will never be who he is.
Exactly.
Pernell Whitaker would have never been who he was. That power means nothing. And actually, no actuality, power works against you because you fall in love with it. It's fool's gold.
Well, think about Andre Waters, another one who's not a big puncher, but look what he punched Kovalev, who had a ton of power.
Right. Right. Exactly.
And another fighter that I always admired the most, though, too, another good fighter I admired too is Marco Antonio Barrera, and also Juan Manuel Marquez, because they may not have the true legitimate power, but these guys are basically workhorses who will weigh you down with the relentless pressure and the relentless attack. So
right.
because listen, you can have all the power in the world, but if you don't got the skill to go along with the power, then it doesn't mean anything. The only exception is Deontay Wilder, because Wilder's very athletic and can do different things that will throw you off balance.
Let me tell you something. You don't know who's going to quit, until that time comes in the ring, man. That ring, what I call the square circle, that's the moment of truth, man, because Costa Zoo, they were trying to build him up. He had a big right hand, the one that knocked out Zab. He was king of 140. When he went to fight Hatton, he quit right on the stool because Hatton roughed him up. And he quit. He just quit. He gave up his championship. Same thing with Donald Curry. When he fought Lloyd Huntington, Donald Curry was like top 3 pound for pound, top 2 pound for pound in boxing, and he quit in the 6th round or the 7th round against Lloyd Huntington, right on his stool. So you don't know what fighter's going to quit until they get into that predicament, that situation where, the questions have to be asked, and you want to see if they're there to answer them. Or they're going to be like, you know what, man, I just give up, man. You don't know until that time comes, man. What happens if Gamboa cut Tank, early on? We don't know what's going to happen. So we have to wait and see. Especially with these young fighters, we don't know who's going to.
Right. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Man, it's Taco K, man, calling out here from California, man.
Salute to Taco K, man. California, man. Hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second, brother. David the Real Thomas said, Cali, please. Tank ain't quit in no sparring. Hey, David the Real Thomas, was you there, my brother? Just let me know if you was there or not. just give me the thumbs up. Was you there or not? Listen,
you gotta believe. You know why I believe Devin though? Let me say why I believe Devin, because for the fact that he admitted that he got his behind whooped the first time in sparring. So that you know what I'm saying?
Say it again, Callie.
He could have said that he watched Tank, but he could have said he watched Tank twice. But the fact that he admitted he got whooped the first time tell you everything you need to know about it. Honest dude. You know what I'm saying? I believe Devin telling the truth.
All right, David the Real Thomas said y'all act like Tank can't box. Nobody ever said he. Listen, David the Real Thomas. See this? This is what I'm saying. God. And I love David the Real Thomas. My guy.
Here we go.
Thomas. Here we go. Listen, let me ask you a question, brother. Can Mike Tyson box? Now, just answer the question. Can Mike Tyson box?
These people are crazy.
Can Mike Tyson box, David the Real Thomas? Yes or no?
Mm-hmm.
Can Mike Tyson box, brother? Can Costa Zoo box? Can Roberto Duran? Can Roberto Duran box?
Hey, listen, y'all. Listen, I already posted in the chat. Remember, Duran quit against Leonard in their second fight. All right? Keep that in mind.
Right. So David the Real Thomas, my brother, and forget everybody else I just mentioned, but can Roberto Duran box? Yes or no?
Get him.
Let me know. Can Roberto Duran box, my brother?
I love to hear this answer.
And Roberto Duran is 20 times the fighter Gervonta Tank Davis is. Now, just answer the question. Can Roberto Duran box, brother?
He just responded, bro.
He said Tank will hurt Dame. You see that? All right, Dame.
Really, bro?
We see what we see. So here we go. When here we go. See, this is the problem. When dudes you are a fan of Gervonta Tank Davis, so now you're gonna say any and everything just to defend him. You're blindly defending him, right?
But they can make that fight. We can find out. I mean, if you want to do like that, they can make the fight. I guarantee you that Devin want to make it, but the Tank team don't want to make it.
It's the thing, David the Real Thomas, my brother, and you my brother, but I gotta get you. So I'm gonna tell you this, right? You're saying that Tank will hurt Devin. There's a lot of people that can hurt Devin. What that mean? There's a lot of people that can hurt Floyd Mayweather too. There was a lot of people that can hurt Floyd Mayweather too. How that turned out for him?
And don't forget Sugar Ray Leonard.
You gotta hit him in order to hurt him, though.
And there was a lot of people that could hurt Pernell Whitaker, wasn't it? And most of them was bigger than him. How'd that work out for him?
And also, there were a lot of other fighters back in the day that could hurt Marvin Hagler too.
You see what I'm saying, brothers? Like, listen, how many people out there that stepped in the ring with Pernell Whitaker that could hurt him? What that mean? What does that mean? That means nothing. He went in the ring with the best of them, and arguably was robbed in most of them.
Yep.
Thinking Canelo was gonna hurt Floyd.
Right. Chavez was supposed to hurt Pernell Whitaker, wasn't he?
Damn right.
How'd that work?
The greatest robbery in the history of boxing, bro.
Not even that one. To me, even that one and the De La Hoya one. He clearly won the De La Hoya fight too.
Exactly. Tell him, Blue Blood. Tell him.
Like, come on, man. Let's stop saying that, man. Because we fans of these fighters, we just say we just mention the impossible.
They just gotta keep it real. They just gotta keep it solid, man.
And then the thing is, and here's the thing, the ultimate thing. Devin wants to fight him.
There you go.
Tank don't want to fight him. Devin wants to fight him. So you defending the man that you saying, oh, he ain't do that. He ain't do that. So why isn't Tank stepping up to the plate? Why is he telling Floyd and Leonard, listen, after this Yuriokis Gamboa fight, I want Devin Haney, bar none. Because that's what Devin Haney, he just said it again. Devin Haney just said it again. I don't know if you guys heard it. He just said it again. He says, the only two people I'm focused on after this fight on Saturday night is Vasil Lomachenko and Gervonta Tank Davis. Now, let's see if that's the same response from Tank Davis. And we know
he had the interview too.
Yeah, and Leonard Ellaby said that Devin Haney ain't in the plans. He said we got a 3-fight plan. Right, we got a
about the bill.
Right, he said we got a 3-fight plan. Right, and he said that basically Devin Haney ain't part of the 3-fight plan.
There was like no bill. He was like basically no bill was going to define Tank.
Right.
So it's like what kind of shit is that? Like
right, like are we just going to overlook the facts? Like, let's be real. If you saying the way you saying, David the Real Thomas, because you just said, listen, he ain't stopped no Tank. He ain't stopped no Tank, right? Okay. If I'm talking about you all just act like he's a brawler. Bro, what are you talking about? Hold on. Kurt, did you say that only Tank is a brawler?
No, I didn't say that. I said Tank was a very good fighter. I'm just the type of guy that I done seen a lot of good young fighters. They faced with adversity, man. They weren't the person that I thought they were. That has nothing to do with his ability. Boxing is much more than that. It has to do with character.
Right.
You have to understand, man. Leonard and Ali were pretty boys, and but they had a lot of dog in them, man. And I don't know how much dog Tank has in him until that time comes.
We're gonna move on to the caller because you know what he just said. Did anybody just see what he just said right now?
Yep, I just saw it though, bro. Like you lost.
Yo, Butterbean can box. I had enough.
No, game over. Game over. You just got canned.
Now he's bringing up Butterbean. Like what are we talking about here?
Oh, good Lord.
Yeah, do your thing.
I got a bone to pick with you, brother.
Do your thing. I got a lot of bones, so I can spare one. Go ahead.
You had an audacity to fighters and say we were in the back seat, you know what I'm saying, of the damn car with the 49ers in the driver's seat.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Listen.
Man, you had me rolling that damn day. I forgot to get you on the last time on the call. And I remembered, I'm like, this nigga done got on my arena.
Now, listen. We are. There's different classes of everything, and I know my brother Cali on here. You know what I'm saying? Here we go. Let me fix my shoulders, right? So there's different types, there's different classes. The Raiders are Uber drivers, right? And what we are is, when the president gets rolling around, you know what I'm saying? He gets the whole shebang, you know what I mean? And they part the way when the president come through. That's who the red and gold. That's who the Niners Empire is. The Raiders are Uber drivers. You know what I mean? So it's different classes. It's all right. They the little brothers in the Bay Area, right? And they always gonna be such. You know what I mean? But it's all right. You know what I mean? It's something just like the Jets and the Giants. Y'all still having success. Y'all gonna make the playoffs, and I think that they underrated. I think that the whole situation with my brother Cali done jumped off. He's so mad at me. You know what I mean? Cali done jumped off. He said, I can't listen to this no more.
Hey,
so
and then quick. I would go quick. I believe you quick. And then the Devontae thing, he could have quit because Devontae don't be in shape all the time like that. You feel me?
Right, exactly.
So it really could have happened. You feel me? In the storm, I believe that was probably more of the case. Because he don't keep himself healthy and in shape. So it could have been one of those things too.
And Taco. That's what. And this is what. If you watch the interview, go check out the interview, right? But he says, I don't know if he was hanging out. I don't know what he was doing, but I made him quit. That's it. And he didn't make. And he said he walked. He said the first time he got me, it was hands down my fault. Will Haney stopped the first. He stopped the first one.
Exactly.
Right, so what? Yeah, do your thing, King. I love you too, King. Appreciate you. Peace. Right, so there's no reason for him to make that up. Like you only saying, oh nah, that ain't happened because that's your favorite fighter.
Yep, man.
That's like me saying, my favorite fighter is in the heavyweight division is Larry Holmes, is Juan Manuel Marquez, Floyd Mayweather, and Pernell Whitaker and Sugar Ray Leonard. Right, but let me say they never got robbed. That just sounds ridiculous. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Talking Allah.
Oh, there he is.
How you doing? It's Talking Allah.
Oh man.
Oh, this flexing your muscles, man. I'm supporting that. Really, Blue? Okay, it's all good. It's all good. You know what I mean? Man, flex your muscles, man. We brothers right now. It's all good. Flex your muscles, Blue.
Yeah, we feel it. Hey, listen, I gotta be, but I can't. You know what I mean? I gotta be easy because now we're going into the meat of the schedule. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, here we go.
Yeah, I got now we're gonna see. Now y'all might not see me on these live streams because I may break my laptop. You know what I mean? This getting into that time. You know what I mean? We're getting into that meet. We're getting into that part of the schedule starting on Monday night. You know what I mean? So
right.
Things could get ugly Monday night, man. Especially there's a few teams I just can't stomach. it's the Seahawks, it's the Cowboys, and it's the Packers. And I got 2 of the 3 on my schedule. 3 more games. I got the Packers and the Seahawks twice. You know what I'm saying? And I just can't stomach those 2 teams, man. Those 3 teams, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You see, I was the Giants. The Giants get me.
I said, okay. I said, Blues over there, such muscles. I said, oh, Giants Nation. I'm like, it's all good. I'm sitting there sucking it in, like, Blues shining right now. And, okay, Blue, you got that one time for your mind. Kurt Sugar was good. They can't get ring. Don't say one time for your body. Just a little drive-by, man. Hey, yeah, everything is gravy, man. Just I'm doing a drive-by, man. Salute. A lot of shouting out, man. Hey, Blue, you have locked the number in, man.
For sure.
This weekend, going, furniture shopping and things like that, man. Just,
all right.
Doing my drive-by, man.
For sure.
I love Top King a lot, man.
My brother.
That's how we do,
Top
man.
King, always.
Salute.
Always a
Yep.
pleasure, bro.
Yeah, man. LDBC, one love, and I'm out.
Peace, bro.
Peace.
Peace.
Yeah, we getting into that part of the schedule, man, when it's now it's gonna get thick. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Now we got the Seahawks and we got the Seahawks, the Cardinals, and the Packers. I believe all in the same in a little small stretch. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Your boy Act Reacher. What's going on?
Oh, what's shit? Act Reacher in the building.
Act Reacher, my brother. I hope you're ready. I hope you're hungry.
Act, what's shaking?
Man, I completely agree with everything you guys were saying. Really wasn't a reason for me to call in. I just, I just had to, chime in on my peoples real quick.
For sure.
I think that fight should definitely be made first out of anybody else because of the history, like you guys were talking about the sparring sessions. I like how Devin and his dad, Bill, kept it real about the first sparring session. Then when he got a little bit older, he sparred again. You know what I mean? He said that he don't know if Penn stopped or his team stopped it, but the point of the matter is Penn got with the treadmill first.
Right.
And, I got to be honest. I mean, back in the days, I probably favored Tank a little bit more, but now I favor Devin. Spirit-wise, physical-wise, everything. He just looks like a man, and I respect him. Taking names and numbers, you heard?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, see, and the thing is, here's the thing. At this stage of their career, see, we fail to realize Devin Haney is like 20 years old. Tank is 25. Right? So
that's true. He just turned 25.
Right.
He turned 25.
And so at this point in time in their career, Tank should be way further along than what he is. They keep selling us and telling us, and this is no knock because I love Tank Davis, but I'm just got to tell the truth. They continue to sell us as the superstar, right? But who's he fought? And right now he's going to fight Gamboa, right? They're bringing him along slow, cool. But when you just look at them in the ring, all bias aside, and just as a fan of the sport of boxing, you see more versatility from Devin Haney than you do Tank. Now, what people fall in love with Tank is the explosion. Yes, he's explosive. Yes, he has power. But also, too, you have to take into consideration that who is he displaying that power against? Because there's a lot of fighters that have power, but when they step up in competition, that power don't look so great, right? So when you look at guys like Mike Tyson, he had a lot of power, but when he stepped in the ring with Evander Holyfield, that power didn't seem so big, did it? When he stepped in the ring with Buster Douglas, that power, it showed up, but it didn't show up the way you thought it was. And from the Buster Douglas fight on, when he fought an A-class fighter, the power didn't show up. So the explosion, and I don't think there was nobody more explosive than Mike Tyson in the sport of boxing. The way he ducked underneath and came up with his combination, boom, 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 with that the ferociousness.
Was that James Tiller?
Right.
Was that the James Tiller?
Right. You see what I'm saying? So there's a handful of guys that just jump off at you right out your screen with that ferociousness, with that quick, that power. You know, there's a lot of guys with power, but there's not a lot of guys with the speed, the power, you know, the movement and things of that nature. Tank Davis, he displays that, right? But he shows you this power. But again, who's it against? Because there's some guys that's just not going to quit when you hit them. And there's certain levels of fighters that guys that's going to pack it in as soon as they touch it, as soon as they feel it, as soon as the wind blow on them, they're gonna pack it in, right? Because they got a 9 to 5 most of the time. You understand what I'm saying? So Devin Haney shows you more versatility. He shows you that he could box off the back foot. He could box coming forward. He's a combination puncher. He got speed. His defense, right? I saw in the beginning of Tank's last fight. Truth be told, right? In the beginning of that fight, Tank was a little bit frustrated. He was already getting frustrated.
You ain't lying, Blue.
Right.
And not lying.
And what happens is
he told me a lot.
Right. And what happens?
I was like, whoa.
Right. And
what happened if that fight would continue?
Right. And see, people fail to realize because that's why he was laughing, because he saw that he was frustrating him, and then Tank caught him. Boop, boop, boop. See, his ring IQ wasn't high enough for him to understand that, listen, you in there with a dangerous, explosive fighter, and you need to be on your A game at all times. But he started laughing and grinning because he was frustrating Tank. If y'all remember, Tank started going into that 52 like Zab Judah did, and they was only in like the second round. He started showing signs of frustration. And I'm not taking anything away from him. But if what do you think a guy with movement like Devin Haney could do? With a jab, with defense. I'm just saying, Kurt, what you think, Kurt?
Yeah, I mean, that's true. Usually guys that have a lot of power, there's no plan B because they're so reliant on their power. You know, they get frustrated when their opponents is still there. You know, and when you move up in competition, those easy knockouts is not going to continue. That's just the nature of the sport. You gotta be versatile. You gotta box and you have to punch. You know, you gotta learn how to box as well and let the knockout come by itself. Low level competition, you can force the knockout because they don't have the ring IQ or the power to keep you off or the talent. But when you start fighting the Lomachenkos and the Haneys and all those guys, man, you know, it's a different ball game, man. I just don't know how good he is. I know he's good. I just don't know how good, because he should be further along in his career. See, guys like Tank Davis and Jamel Charlo, the jury's still out, man, because we don't know about these guys. Most of you who are fans may say, nah, they the good or whatever. They the goods, but I don't know. I'm not going to crown them or give them the keys to the car. Not yet. You have to be a high profile fighter. You know, you have to have a signature fight that we can be like, oh, well, I know he's great because he beat this guy. So that's yet to be seen.
Yeah, and the problem with it is that when you critique a fighter, people automatically, that's the problem, man. It's just too everybody's too tender to the touch, man. You critique a fighter and it's, oh, you don't like this fighter. What are you talking about, man? What are you talking about? It's just like any other sport. It's the only difference is we're talking about a single individual because it's a single individual sport. But if you talk about the 49ers, a team sport, I'm going to tell you, yeah, we got holes. There's holes in the game, right? There's flaws. There's chinks in the armor, right? If you talk about my Chicago Bulls, yeah, there's chinks in the armor. There's problems with the Los Angeles Lakers. There's chinks in the armor, right? This is any sport we talk about. But as soon as you mention a chink in the armor of somebody's favorite fighter, oh, that's because you don't like him. Oh, that's because you don't like him. Listen, I've been a fan of the 49ers since 1982. 1982. I've been a 49er fan head over heel since 1982. Okay? And you think I'm going to tell you that right now we hands down the best team in the NFL with no chinks in the armor? No, we have holes. The defense got exposed against the Cardinals. I'm nervous. And I'm going to say it. Listen, we got to fix this. We got to fix that because that's real. That's being real. Hey, somebody get Rudy Zarate out of here. Get that dude out of here, man. So
Blue, I'm I'm gonna chime out, man. I'm gonna let y'all do y'all thing, man. I'm gonna finish watch y'all cooking, man. Shout out to the mighty LDBC. Shout out to you, Blue. Shout out to Able.
Man,
shout out to everybody. And shout out to Kurt Sugar, man.
Salute. I'm gonna hit you up behind the scenes so we can keep building on what we're building on.
Hey, peace, Zach Reacher.
I'm gonna hit you, my brother.
All right.
Hey, Curry, man, it's 8:04 already, man.
Man, y'all been going at it all day, all night, though, bro. It's awesome, though, bro. But let me just say this quick point too, real quick. That I actually was gonna allude to what you were talking about, Blue. That's basically in the lines to, you know, when people keep saying that Kobe Bryant was carried by Shaquille O'Neal all them years when they were together winning championships, and I'm sitting there that like, though, bruh, if you're really gonna say that, you really clearly do not know your basketball. Listen, you and I are Chicago Bulls fans, but I would be lying to you if I said yes, we had weaknesses. We didn't have a dominant big man. If we went up against the Houston Rockets with all those 3-point threats, there's no guarantee we wouldn't beaten them. Right. It would have been interesting to see, but when you go against Hakeem in his prime, you know, with all that post work, and he was able to pass out of double teams to kick it out to Kenny Smith, Vernon Maxwell, Robert Horry, all them shooters. Right. I would be lying to you and saying that it would be tough because you got to cover all them shooters and they can get hot at any time. That's the problem, man. Too many people just not are not real. They escape reality, man. Nobody wants to just say, listen, yeah, you know what, Tank, you know, might have this flaw, that flaw. Ain't no problem with that, man. Listen, Marquez is one of my favorite fighters. Pernell Whitaker was, to me, out of all my favorite fighters, he was the most complete package because he had power, he had defense, he had speed, he had it all. When Floyd Mayweather had power, he's my other favorite fighter, but he didn't have the power Pernell Whitaker had. You know, he had hand issues, but he was a complete fighter, Floyd Mayweather. You know, but you mean to tell me you gonna tell me that these fighters didn't have no chink in their armor? No, come on, man, that's unrealistic. It's unrealistic. Come on, let's be real. That's the problem. We don't have reality. Am I right, Kurt?
Yep, absolutely.
This is ridiculous, man. But all right, people, man, it's 8 o'clock already, man. Time flies, man. And the general's on too, so I'm about to go in there and just chop it up too. Oh, okay, he on. Okay. Yep. Let me get up off here, man. But let me just say those two though. Thanks for having me on, though, bro. It was an honor and privilege to be on here. I'll be back tomorrow. I'll be back for 2 live streams tomorrow. But tonight we got basketball conversations. We're gonna have a lot to talk about, and we got college basketball that started this week, man. Got a lot to talk about in the world of basketball, bro. So stay tuned for that. Salute to the mighty LDBC, Black Media, and also New Media. And let's keep on pushing, baby. Yes, sir. Go ahead, Kurt. Close us out, bro.
Hey, man. Great live stream, man. Once again, thank the chat. Charlie, Abel, Mahari for jumping on, man. Of course, the Capo, legend himself, Blue Blood, man. You know, that orchestrate the whole show, man. I mean, I'm just a fly in the ointment. You, man, love talking boxing, man, and other things as well, man. It was a great show. Time flies when you're having fun. You know, hey, we got Devin Haney tomorrow, man. You know, we got Jamar Herring versus Roach Jr. 6:30 Saturday tomorrow on ESPN Plus. Mm-hmm. So enjoy the fights and everybody enjoy the weekend. LSU versus Alabama. I can't wait.
Ooh, I can't wait for that. Hey, Kurt, what time that one come on?
3:30 CBS.
Okay.
Absolutely, man. Hey, I'll see you guys on OG Boxing Talk Sunday morning for non-boxing. And we'll be back next week. Blue Blood Live TV. Shout out to LDBC, New Media. Peace.
Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. You haven't subscribed? Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell icon to get all the new notifications. Follow us on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. Y'all already know what it is. Shout out to the entire LDBC. Shout out to New Media. Shout out to Black Media Raw. Make sure you like and share this video. That's all we got for y'all. Peace.
Peace.